They say that long, long ago in the dark town of Derry, something evil found a home beneath the streets. It wasn't a person, and it wasn't really a monster either. It was older than that, something that came from far away, where shadows and nightmares live. This thing could change its shape, turning into whatever scared people most, and it loved the taste of fear. When it found Derry, it decided to stay. The town was small, and people there were scared of many things. But this creature needed to hide. It needed to trick its prey. So it took the shape of a clown, a funny, colorful clown that people would think was safe. It called itself Pennywise, the Dancing Clown. But Pennywise was not friendly. Under the painted smile behind the bright red nose and big yellow eyes, Pennywise was pure hunger. It waited for people to come close, and when they did, it showed them its true face, a face with sharp teeth, dark bottomless eyes, and claws like knives. And Pennywise didn't want grown-ups. No, it only wanted children. They were easier to scare, and Pennywise loved the taste of their fear. Every 27 years, Pennywise would wake up and come out to hunt, pulling children down into the darkness. It would wait in the shadows, under the streets, sometimes in the dark, rainy drains, just like the ones near your house. In Derry, when children began to disappear, people said it was Pennywise who took them. They would hear a soft laugh from the drains or see two yellow eyes staring from the dark, and then gone. This was the story passed down, the warning, but no one really believed it. But some people knew it was true. They had seen him, and so, one gray afternoon, the evil clown chose his next prey. A little boy named Georgie was outside, playing with his new paper boat in the rain. He watched the boat float down the street, fast, following the rushing rainwater. Then, as Georgie ran after it, he saw the boat slip into a storm drain. Georgie knelt down, peering into the drain, and that's when he saw him. The clown was strange, almost like a painted doll come to life. His face was pale and cracked, with big red lines around his mouth that stretched up to his eyes. His lips were painted dark red, curving into a smile too big for his face. His eyes looked almost hungry, watching Georgie as if he were a snack. "Hiya, Georgie," the clown said in a soft, almost creepy voice. He held up Georgie's boat in one of his long, claw-like hands, his fingers thin and sharp. Georgie didn't know what to do. He wanted his boat back, but something felt wrong, like he was stuck in a nightmare he couldn't wake up from. "You want your boat back?" the clown asked, his smile stretching wider, showing sharp teeth that looked as if they could bite through anything. Yes," Georgie whispered. He felt cold and scared, like he couldn't move. "I'm Pennywise, the Dancing Clown," the clown said softly, but his voice was dark and rough, like he was hiding something evil. "Come closer, Georgie." Before Georgie could scream, Pennywise's hand shot out, grabbing Georgie's arm with fingers like metal claws. With one quick pull, he dragged Georgie down into the darkness, and the drain was silent once again. The next day, the town of Derry was quiet. Georgie was gone, and no one knew why. Bill, Georgie's big brother, felt something terrible had happened. He knew that something dark was hiding in Derry, something that was taking children. Bill and his friends, Eddie, Richie, and Beverly, decided to go into the sewers to find Georgie. The sewers were dark, wet, and smelled awful. The walls dripped with dirty water, and strange shadows moved along the walls. As they walked deeper, they could feel the air grow colder, as if the darkness itself was watching them. Then, from somewhere deep in the sewer, they heard a soft laugh, a laugh that was low, mean, and echoing through the darkness. "You hear that?" Eddie asked, his voice shaky. "It's him," Bill said, his flashlight shaking in his hand. "It's Pennywise." Suddenly, Pennywise appeared right in front of them. He was taller now, his pale face twisted with a big, evil grin. His eyes were dark and glowing, staring at them like they were little animals caught in a trap. His clothes were old and dirty, with strange silver buttons and thick ruffles around his neck. His hands hung low, his long fingers curling in the shadows. "Hello, children," Pennywise whispered, his voice like a snake slithering through the air. "Are you looking for Georgie?" "Where is he?" Bill yelled, his heart pounding with fear and anger. "Oh, Georgie's here," Pennywise said, his smile stretching wider. His sharp teeth glinted in the light. "He's floating, just like you will." The children tried to run, but Pennywise moved fast, gliding through the shadows like he was made of smoke. He reached out and grabbed Eddie, pulling him close, his sharp teeth showing as he grinned. "Don't you want to float, Eddie?" Pennywise growled, his voice cold and hungry. "No, let me go," Eddie cried, trying to pull away, but Pennywise held him tight, his eyes gleaming with a terrifying hunger. Richie and Beverly grabbed rocks from the floor and threw them at Pennywise. One of the rocks hit him hard, and Pennywise's face twisted in anger. He let go of Eddie and turned, his eyes glaring, his smile gone. "You think you can stop me?" he sneered, his voice filled with hate. "I am fear. I am forever. And I will come for each of you, one by one." The children turned and ran, their footsteps echoing through the dark, wet tunnels as Pennywise's laughter followed them. They could hear his voice calling their names, mocking them, laughing, getting louder and louder. When they thought they were safe, Pennywise appeared again, blocking their way. His face was twisted and monstrous, his mouth opening wide, showing sharp, hungry teeth. His eyes were dark holes, staring straight into their fear. "You cannot escape me," he whispered, his voice filling the tunnels. "You'll all float, just like Georgie." But Bill and his friends held hands, standing together even though they were scared. They knew Pennywise fed on their fear, and they yelled, "We're not afraid of you." For a moment, Pennywise's smile faded, his eyes narrowing. But then he snarled, his mouth stretching wide again, his teeth sharp and shiny. He started to fade, his body turning into shadows. "I'll be back," he whispered angrily, "and you'll float forever." With one last loud scream, Pennywise disappeared, leaving only darkness and silence behind. The kids ran out of the sewer, but they knew Pennywise was still there, waiting, hiding, hungry. And they knew that one day he would come back for them.
Enjoyed this video? Share your story ideas in the comments, give it a like, and subscribe for more.